Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Are you guys ready for me?
I am. Tell me how to get on here first again.
Okay. Well, let's start with the simple way. If you just go to
Okay,
our
I'm going to put it on speaker here.
okay.
All right, go ahead.
And Earl, I have you on speaker as well, so I can type.
Okay.
So let me know if that's a problem. If you can't hear me, but
All right, we can hear you.
okay. So if you will just go to auctionsoft.com. And what I want you to do is once you get there and you see all the auctions listed, I want you to go down to the very bottom, very bottom, and there is a little tiny button that says Join Virtual Demo.
All the way like past the
I mean, as far as you can scroll down, it is a little tiny thing at the very bottom.
right there in blue. Join virtual demo. Okay. Click onto that.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you'll see my picture, and I want you to click on that. And then that should put us together. Okay, now at this point, you're looking at my screen. Let me open this up. All right, and you may want to scroll down just slightly, and you can see just a little bit more of my screen. There you go. Maybe a little too much. Okay. All right, so how's the image size? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
You can read everything? Okay, well, I've got you pulled up here. So now, at this point in time, guys, let me ask you, who's all with me? What's the names of people here?
So I'm Earl Lehman.
Okay,
Ashley Peters, the one that got you in contact with Earl.
awesome.
Roman Graver. Noah Brenneman.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through my standard. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to kind of go through everything. But if you have questions as I'm going, please stop me because I get on a roll. And yeah. So now you guys have been doing sales quite a bit here. You've got an upcoming sale. And this is go to auction here. But your upcoming sale for the driving horse auction, right? Is that complete? Do you have everything? Are all of the items that are going to be at that sale listed here?
Other than tack. They should be all other than tack, yeah.
Other than tack. And tack does not
And
get...
There's some horses in there that the information isn't in there.
Okay.
So it'll still be that lot number.
Okay. All right. So I took some time and I was basically prepping for our meeting today. So we're going to be able to use some of this as a demonstration purposes. Okay. So one of the things about Auctionsoft that you get when you use us is you get a free marketing platform on the front end. If you're doing marketing on AuctionZip or anything like that, think about that as included in the price you pay per auction to list it. And that's what all of this is all of these people have these sales coming up. Now, on your website, you've got all of those images of the lots and the things like that, and I assume people can print it out. You can add as many images and things as you want to the front end. It doesn't charge you any extra. It's all included. If you want to run a simulcast or an online sale, we'll talk about that later. But for the most part, you get a free listing on the front included in that. Okay. So I already have you pulled up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the auctioneer dashboard. Once you're logged in, you'll click on auctioneer dashboard, and that's going to take you to this here. Now, this is the first or the landing page that you'll come to. And let me stop and back up just a little bit and tell you a little bit about myself. I am a third generation auctioneer. My father, at 78 years old, is still running a weekly sale on the northeast side of Indianapolis, has been at that facility for 45 years. Very, very good business. was running tickets and ringing sales, from when I was little and didn't know how to do anything else. I'm very well versed in the auction business. We built this software with one thing in mind, is it for it to be as simple to use as possible so my parents would be comfortable using it. And I hope that you feel that you see that we have taken the time to make it simple. So on the left, we've only got 4 or 5 different tabs that we're going to talk about. This dashboard tab is the page we're on, okay? Think of it kind of like a little QuickBooks, but as you have sales, it'll give you a little graph to show you how you're doing. Anyone that is unpaid, someone comes, leaves you an absentee bid, but they have not paid, it's going to show up right here when you log in to tell you who is yet to pay, all right? All of your auctions that are listed on the front will show up here, and it gives you a little idea about how many views you have on the front end of Auctionsoft, okay? The second tab over here is auctions. We organize everything using these tabs. So here's a tab and here's a tab. So under future auctions, I built, for our demonstration purposes tonight, I built this particular auction using the reference of the one you already have live. When it's time to go have the sale, we're going to click this button on the far right. I'm not going to do that yet. When it's time to add a new auction, you'll use this button here. Fill out some information, and then for $20, it'll add that sale to your system, and then you can manipulate it. The third tab here on the left is customers. Now, we believe customer is a bidder or a consigner, but anybody who gets put into the system, you'll have a nicely organized list of all of the people. And Ashley and the rest of you there, we're going to try to put you in here very quickly once we get to that point. If you want to do flyers or postcards or other form of paper marketing, you can export your customer list and then give that to your printer if you want to do it that way. All of those tools are here. Okay. Under staff, if you want some of your staff to be able to do certain things and not other things, we will add them to staff groups, and I can show you how to turn on certain permissions so that they can only get to the things you want them to have power to get to. Okay, I'm going to skip that for now. That's something we can come back later if you come on board with us. Under reports, if you're selling taxable items and you pay taxes monthly or quarterly or yearly or however that is, you simply set the date range for the sale, and then you will click on the report that you want. Now, you don't have any data in here yet, but you simply set the date range and then come back and then click the button to open up the report that you want, and it'll show you all your information, and then you can print it if you need to. Now, we're going to create some data today so that we can come back to this if you have questions on that. Now, do you usually give your bidders reserved or permanent bid numbers?
Not normally. We have about 100 of them that have permanent numbers.
Okay. Our system will do both, and it will do a combination. So you can give those 100 their permanent numbers. Everybody else will just get the first lowest number available. All right. Now, the next button is your profile. Now, you as the owner of this account, this is about you. But every bidder and every consigner will have a page like this. So you can come down and make them tax exempt if they're buying for resale. You could put an alert on the system. Maybe they wrote you a bad check in the past, or maybe they're a VIP. And this is also where you'll come to set those permanent bid numbers and consigner numbers. But everyone has a customizable profile where you can then add details about your customer. The system will also track every sale that they've been to and put it here in your history, and also the consigner history for each person. So it's easy to find if you want to go back and look at what somebody spent a year ago or whatever. Okay. Now, under my company, now this is one of the big ones. Under my company, we have your company information. I think you put this in here, didn't you? Did you type that in?
Yeah, I think I put that in there.
Okay. So we've got your email, your web address, terms and conditions we can add later, so on and so forth. Is this where all of your sales will happen?
No, that's actually where my business actually.
Okay.
That's my home.
So for because this is company information, we'll leave that this way for now. All All right, so then let's go to rates and settings. And again, we kind of use this little tab system. Under rates and settings, we are going to go through these 6 tabs right here. And when we're done, the system is going to be ready for you to have your first sale. It's that easy. Okay, so let's talk about this. Under rates, are you charging a sales tax on personal property?
Yeah. Unless they're exempt, yeah.
Right, unless they're exempt. So, assuming they're not exempt, what's the rate for sales tax?
It's 6%.
All right. And you're in Michigan. All right. Now, are you charging a buyer's premium?
No.
Okay. So we'll turn that off. Do you take cash, check, and charge?
Yes.
How do you take your charge cards?
I have a holder thing through Huntington Bank.
I'm just going to call it Huntington for now.
Yeah.
And then we can do that. Now, we have a way to embed our own processor, and I'll explain that more as we go. But if you want to use Stripe, that is our credit card processor built in. Fees are, I'm sure, very similar, and we can go over that if you want to. There are some perks to using our embedded system, and I'll tell you about those as we go. Now, are you charging a surcharge for using a credit card?
It's 3%.
Okay, so that's the standard, so I'll leave that there. All right, let's go to consigners. If a person brings you personal property, TAC, what do you charge for that?
TAC is 20%.
Now, normally if a person brings you TAC and animals, the animals are different rate, correct?
The small animals are 20% as well.
Okay.
Like feathers and fur, we call them.
Okay, so let me do it this way. So if I say, let me think of how I want to do that.
Tell him that somebody he could do like goats or something.
Yeah, like livestock and goats. We have a different commission like for goats and horses and all that stuff.
Okay, so then I'm going to set it up a little differently. I'm not going to leave this alone. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to come down here to this tag option. This is the tool we're going to use to build it the way you do it. So let's say you said TAC. Did I spell it? Is TAC spelled like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And personal property. All right. And you said that's percentage what?
20%.
All right. Let's build another one. Let's say furs and feathers. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's 20%.
And what's the next one?
So horses are 6%, but then I have a minimum and a maximum on that.
Okay, what is the minimum?
The minimum, it kind of varies on different sales. So this one coming up is $100.
Okay, we can play with that. So I've got a 20% option for TAC and personal property, 6% for horses. Didn't you say goats and things?
Yeah, goats is 6% with a $12 minimum, and a $60 max.
Now you are throwing me a curveball on the max. I haven't heard that before. I've heard the minimum before, so we may have to add a feature or figure out how we're going to do it that way. It may actually just be an adjustment on the fly for now.
Yeah.
But okay, so I've got 4 options here. Does that cover everything? Fur and feathers, goats, horses. Are you doing cattle at a different rate or anything like that?
Like saddles, I usually have any saddle that goes over $100 is 10%. Actually, I moved that up to 12%. Actually.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's leave it with this just so I can get through the demo. And then as you figure out exactly how you want these settings, I can help you make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Do you charge any kind of an extra fee if your buyer buys back their own stuff?
So on the horses, I do $100.
Is that like a no sale fee because they bought it back because it didn't meet reserve?
That's $100 for the sale we're doing. Yep. Like a no sale fee.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave that at $100. Let's see. Now, sometimes your sellers buy items, not their own items, but other items. We have the ability for the system to calculate their amount of proceeds and add it as a credit to their purchases. Do you want that to happen?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's turn that on. We can turn it off later if need be. Okay, so then are you going to be running online and simulcast, or is this all live?
It's all live.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, we have a wonderful simulcast and online tool, but I will leave that alone for now. And let's say, just 1 second. I got to make myself a note. Graded. Okay. All right. Let's see. Don't worry about that. And other. All right. Now, when you're selling on the auction block, is it just the single ring going on, or do you have multiple rings going?
Like this sale that's coming up, we'd only have a single ring.
The what ring?
We'd only have one ring.
Okay.
The sale that's coming up that you're doing here.
Okay. Are you calling it, or do you have a hired auctioneer calling the sale?
I have a hired auctioneer.
Do you want the auctioneer and the clerk to be able to see the total volume of dollars income, or no? Sometimes.
No.
Okay. We can turn that on, but in your situation, you probably wouldn't want them to see that, and so we'll leave that off. Okay.
They might raise their rates on me.
Yeah, they know what you're doing. I get it. Okay, tell me about how you market. I know that you have your website. Do you do Facebook marketing, flyers? What else do you do?
We have Facebook marketing, but then we also do a lot of flyers, mail out catalogs. I do a lot of actual auctions. I was in Mount Hope a couple days this week, passing out flyers and stuff.
Let's see. A website, word of mouth, Facebook, catalogs, signs, flyers. All right. This will make sense here in a second. We can add more to this and delete if we need to. Does it matter? So if you've got permanent bid numbers, do you, Earl, do you keep your own permanent bid number that if you buy, you have the same number all the time?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you mind telling me what that is?
So I have two of them. One is 1.
Okay.
The other is 100.
Okay. So we're going to make sure you get number 1, but do you care if I come to your auction for the first time and I don't have a bid number, do you care what number I get? Doesn't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Sometimes auction companies want us to start at they don't want to give any 2-digit numbers. They want everybody to have a 100 number. So we have the ability to start that. I'm not going to worry about that now. We can do it on both the bidder side and the consignor side if need be, but we can swing back to that. All right. All right. So I'm not going to put that in there. I am going to go down and turn that on. Okay. All right. Now, guys, honestly, we're ready to go have a sale. At this point, if your sale was getting ready to start at 8:30, it would be fine and ready to go. So I'm going to click on auctions. I'm going to go to future sales, and I'm going to click over here on this button on the right called Manage Sales. Now, I'm not sure who is cashiering your sales, but this is what I call the cashier's page. Okay. Almost everything that happens during the auction is going to happen on this window. There are 3 parts. This first big part is all of your customers. We've got you listed here and Daniel. And then as people come to register for this auction, March 21st, they're going to get put in to the registered bidders tab, and then all of your consigners will be added here. Okay? So this box organizes every person that you're doing business with all in one place. Now, under registered bidders, Daniel is number 1, and he's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be you, correct?
Yeah.
So under registered bidders, there is an action button, and I'm simply going to go down here and unassign him. So that way, when I come to give you the first number, all I got to do is find you. So there could be 1,000 people in here, 2,000 people in here. I can search by your phone number, 6161, which isn't your phone number, is it? Is that the phone number we called?
Yeah.
That is your phone number? Okay. All right. So if I know your last name or your phone number or anything, as you're walking up to the cashier's window, I simply type in that number and click this button to give you the bid number. The system pops up and says, all right, you're going to be bidder number 1. I can say, all right, Earl, how'd you hear about us? Oh, I got a catalog somewhere. And then I can print out your bid number. So there's a very nice little system of click the button to register someone, ask them how they heard about this sale. So that helps you track what marketing is working, and then print out their bid number. So let's say they drop their bid number and they walk back up to you and they got another one. You simply find the person, click here, and you can reprint their bid number. Okay? You can also get to their profile from here. You can get to people's profiles in a lot of different ways. You'll see that in a lot of places. Now, let's take this out of here, and we're going to add another person. We're going to add me. There's a couple different ways to do it fast. If they're already in your system and you just need to type in, Kaufman, it eliminates everybody else on the list and lets you give them that number. All right. Now, let's say they walk up. It's me that walks up, and I've never been to your sale before, and I want a number. Your cashier is going to simply say, all right, I don't have you on my list. Can I have your cell phone number? And I'm going to I'm going to give you my hello. I'm going to type in my cell phone number. Why is that not? Oh, no, numlock. Let's try it again. So when I type in my cell phone number, even though I've never been to your auction, if I have been to any other auction that's running Auctionsoft, the system will go out into the internet, find my information, and then it's simply one click to add me to your sale. So now I'm number 2. The cashier says, how you heard about it? I saw it on Facebook. Here's your bid number. Quick and easy. Now there are 2 registered bidders. And there are 3 people that are on your overall customer list. As people come to your sales, this list will grow and grow. This list starts new with every auction. So you have to move them into the registered bidders list as they come. Okay? Now, we also have the ability to scan IDs. If you're going to add somebody and you put in their phone number and it says, I've never registered before, it will give you this screen. And then you can scan an ID. We recommend a Honeywell 7580, which is about $50 on eBay. You can buy them used all day long. And then it makes the sign-up process very fast. Click the button, scan their ID. It fills in all of this information. And then you click the button to give them their first or their bid number. Okay? The same thing happens when you're registering a consignor. Someone walks up, they're going to, maybe you have a form for them to fill out, like the horse form and things like that. They put all their information on there. You put it in the system and give them the consignor number. Okay? The system is tracking everything by consignor. So let's say, Ashley. Is Ashley still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let me back up here. I'm going to cancel this. And I'm going to ask you for your phone number.
989-763-7875.
All right. You might be in there. Nope, you're not. All right. So, Ashley, and the last name is Peters?
Correct.
All right. And I'm not going to ask you for your email and all that kind of stuff right now. The system normally what tries to force you to get a driver's license, so I'm just putting something in there. What's your address though?
3510
Uh-huh.
North Lumberjack Road,
Zip code?
48877.
The system will try to be fast, so as soon as you put in a zip, it'll look up out there on the internet the city and state. And do you have a permanent bid number?
I do.
So in this case, because I want you to use your permanent, I'm not going to click this button to give you the next available number. I'm going to tell my system to submit you to the system and not do anything. Because now I'm going to go find you and I'm going to ask you, what is your permanent bid number?
101.
Do you have a permanent seller number?
Do not.
Okay. Now, this is another perk of...
It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it's the same number.
It
Okay.
would be.
So this is a perk of Auctionsoft. As soon as you type something in there, you don't have to hit enter or save or submit. It automatically saves this information as soon as you leave the field. So in this case, it looked up 101, said, yes, that's available, and it saved it for you. That is a perk because as you're bouncing around in the middle of the chaotic auction, if you leave a field without hitting enter and you've lost that data, so as soon as you leave the field, our system saves it for you automatically. Okay? It just makes everything go faster. All right, so now I'm going to return to the event. Ashley now has an assigned permanent bid number and consignor number of 101. And I click this button. It gives him 101. How did you hear about us? I saw some signs, and I print your bid number. Again, you can see how fast this goes. Once you learn your way around the system, it is a very, I think it's pretty simple, but you can, once you learn it, you can get around really quickly to do what you need to do. Okay, so we have one consignor, we have 3 registered bidders, and we have customers here. Let's go have a little sale. Now, I'm going to show you the basic live sale, but I cataloged all your horses the other night so I could show you how it's done for an online sale. If you wanted to sell all your horses simulcast to your live audience and people online, we could do that for you. Now, but let's show you just the regular system. You simply go to the general clerking green, which is number 1. If you were going to have multiple rings running at one time, we don't charge extra for that. It's no big deal. You just hit enter. And let's say you're going to sell an outside lot. Oops. Outside ring. And you add a ring. So now the system is going to keep track of all of the money that comes in per ring. Whether it's the catalog, simulcast, the general ring, the outside ring. Sometimes the auction company will name these rings with the auctioneer that's calling that ring. So they can see how they did. All right, so let's go, now that we've done that, let's go to the clerking grid. And we've got one consignor, and we're going to sell some tack. And so now what I did is I created a tack line. And under price, let's say it brought $25. The bidder was 101, and they bought it at one item. Okay, it automatically comes back here to the consignor number, but if that's not right, it's highlighted already, so you could just type in the change. But we only have one consignor, so let's do another thing. Bridle and tack, and the price on this one was $12.50, and the bidder was 1. And clerk. My dad runs 120 to 130 items an hour. So a couple items a minute plus. The system will have no problem keeping up with your pace of auctioneer. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's go over here and let's say it's going to be a choice. This time we're doing choice. Let's just say choice item for now. And it's going to be personal property. And it brought $50. The first bidder was 2. And they bought 3, but we've got more to pass out. So this time you just tab to your blue button. When you click the blue button, it records that line with all of the information, but it auto-fills the next one. So your clerk just has to, all right, who else wants one? 101 is going to take the remaining 4 of those. This system is very fast. Now, let's say you typed an item here. You didn't mean to type, you're going to sell some tack and it no sales. You got it to $20, but it no sales. So you're going to leave the bidder box empty and record that item. Shows up as a no sale. Okay. Anytime there is a buyer that is not found, it will kind of alert you. It does that in a couple different ways. So if I put in here no buyer, just for an example, price was $50, but the buyer was 6. I don't have a 6. The system knows, hey, that must be a typo because that's not right. Or it's permanent bid number 6, and they showed up, they started bidding without checking into the office. That's no problem, because then as soon as we go back and click the button next to their name that gives them 6, it will fix everything that we've done automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Any questions so far, guys?
I think we're good.
Okay. Now, this one right here basically says that if, let's say your clerk needs a bathroom break or would like a glass of water or something like that, you can send a message from the clerk's station to the cashier's station. That's a one-way street, though. You can only do it in that direction. Okay. So now we've got a few items that are clerked here.
So, okay, I've got a question now. Now's a good time.
All right.
Okay, let's say after you entered it and you already entered buyer number 6, and now they say, no, that was buyer number 66. Can you change that?
Excellent example. You do have to tell the system you're going to make an edit. So you go here to edit, change it to 66, and it's done.
Okay, you can do it right there.
Yeah. Now, to that point, you can only edit what you can see on this screen. So after it gets down to about 20 items,
Okay. Yep.
you'll have to send whoever it is or a note back to the cashier's window. That's one of the things that keeps this page very fast is when we are transmitting data, we're only really transmitting a few pieces of data here. It is very fast. Even if you're out on a hotspot on your phone with 1 bar, the system will still work very fast. Okay. Now let's go back over here, refresh our page, and look what happened. Now we have all of our registered bidders have purchases, and nobody's paid. Everything's in red. Excuse me. And we could check somebody out. So Earl, let's say you walk up and you're ready to check out. All we have to do is simply find your name. Type in 6161, and then poof. This is what it should look like on your phone with all of your invoice information, the fact that you bought this. Now, at this point, one more thing I need to do is I need to go back here and tell the system that we're charging this 6% tax because I created the demonstration sale before I asked you that. So I just needed to update this. All right, and let's do our 3% credit card for my example. And we'll call this Huntington. All right. The red button takes you back.
I don't know if it matters or not, but you put in Missouri instead of Michigan. But
I did. Let's go fix that. Michigan. Okay, better. Thank you for catching that. All right. So now let's see here. We want to charge this person, and now there is the tax. That's how I noticed it. It wasn't there. That's another good thing about Auctionsoft is if you make a mistake and you need to go fix something, just changing what you need to fix fixes everything else that has happened across the board. It's not a major catastrophe. It will all just update in real time. Okay, so you owe $13.25. We're going to take your check, and your check number is this. And once it pops to the middle, that means that item is paid in full, or that person is paid in full. I can print it, or I can just ask you if you're fine with the invoice that's on your phone because you have access to that. Or I can simply email it to you with this button. But the idea is to save paper and speed getting the next person through line. So if you're fine with that, we go on with that. Once you have got it paid, it shows up in blue. Now you can quickly see who is paid and who is not paid. If someone buys, pays, and then goes back and buys more, it'll turn up in yellow. So you know that they are partially paid. but the color coding makes it easy for you to see what's going on. If we need to charge someone for a credit card, it automatically adds the rate. And then if you're using Huntington and it gives you an approval number, you can type in the little approval number here and save it that way. Now the person gets their invoice and they can see everything that's happened, what they bought, how they paid, even the fees that they were paid for their 3%, get their printout or their email, and we're off and running. 2 people have paid, 1 person has not. But this is Ashley at 101. We notice down here that there is an error. The system's constantly looking for errors. What that is, basically, is the number 6 that we entered. Well, in this case, this a lot of cataloged items I haven't got to yet. But let's see if I can find number 6. Yeah, which was 66. So at the cashier's window, I can go down here and I can edit this and say, you know what, this wasn't supposed to be 66. It was supposed to be 101. And poof, now that will fix that. Oh, there's still a $20 something missing here. Let's go find it. Anything you can see on this list, you can search by. Okay, so we've got a $20. I can quickly find problems. I got a $20 here that doesn't have a bidder assigned to it, and that was bidder number 1. Just like that. Okay, everything with a red dollar sign means that person is paid. He's paid at least once. Okay, now let me go into the catalog. If you wanted to run a catalog auction of your horses simulcast, if it's okay with you, I'm going to divert real quickly and we're going to go to YouTube. And I'm going to go and I'm going to show you this sale out of Missouri.
$100 bill, 5 here and a 5 and a half, 5 and a half, $600 bill, 6 here and a $50 bill, 50 to 700.
This here is what the clerk sees when the live sale is going on. This screen here is what the audience at home sees. And I was just recording this last weekend because this was their very first simulcast with me, and I was training her. So I thought it would be good to record this. Okay. This was a gun sale that they had going on. And let's see, let's go to the Cheneys. They are out of Missouri. Let's stop that for a second. And I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to show you that exact sale. This is what that looks like from the customer standpoint, from the bidder standpoint. He had about 250 guns at this sale. Now, these are all closed, but we allow you to see realized prices. Now, let's go show you another sale. This one here is upcoming. This is what it looks like if a sale is still active. Come in here and get a bid number, and I'm not going to get a bid number because I'm signed up as you right now. But I could simply go here. Now, every single item has a page that's all about it, and you can add additional images. You can even add video if you wanted to, and it will track how many people have been bidding on this gun. All of that is part of the catalog system. Now, let's go back to see yours. To create a catalog, and I did this with your horses the other night. Basically, I come down here and I click this button that says Pre-Clerk Catalog, and I simply went in. I didn't know your consignor numbers, so I put everything under 0. That would be easy to fix once we get everybody in the system. You've got about 140 lots already, so the system automatically tries to give me the next lot, and I can put, sample horsey, and this is a horse at 6%. Minimum bid is 0. Say again. You can tell all of the details that you normally put in.
Our screen just went blank here. I'm not sure.
Do a refresh, guys. See if that's I'm so sorry. I'm not sure.
There we go.
There you go. Sorry.
No problem.
I'm not sure what happened, but we're back. Okay, so did you basically I was, did you see me click on this?
Yep.
Okay, so that opens this. And again, I'm going to put in here sample horse. And we're going to, doesn't matter where the bidding starts. This is a horse. And you can get all of the information you put in there about the sire and the dam and all that kind of stuff. You would put in the item description and hit enter. That tool, this tool right here, basically built this list on the right. Okay, so that
So if I didn't know so these guys won't necessarily be issued a consignor number, but is there a way to like just catalog them under their name or not?
no, sir. You do the first step to getting a person in is getting them a consignor number.
Consignor number.
Yeah. So the system just works better if it uses numeric numbers. There are so many problems with names because it could be spelled wrong. It could be a space in between their names. There's a lot of problems. So you really need to focus on good data. So step one, when someone fills out your horse form, you basically get them in the system right away and assign them a number. And from that point forward, you can tell Mr. Seller number, whoever that is, that you're always going to be number 57. You know, you're going to be 57. And then it will save all his records from that for as many times as he consigns to your auction. But yes, create the seller. And then when you first go to clerk the item, put that seller number in there and add your thing here. So now you can see that I've gone through your list that was on your website and I added all these. One of the other things that's good about this is, let's see, I need to go here and make sure this print catalog is on. So I'm basically telling my system that people can print your catalog from the front. So they can come here and print all of your information about your sale and everything. Now, I didn't add any of the sire information other than the first one, just as an example for you guys to see. But this is what it would look like. And then all of the lots with the horse names. And I just put this in here because you didn't have a horse name there. Okay. All right. So that is a perk for building a catalog. And then you can add as many pictures as you want. Let's get back to that. Each one of these items, you can go in here and edit and add the horse image, extra images if you want to. This is where you could go and edit, where I put in, for lot 1, I put all the information in there. If you wanted to upload a video, if your seller a week ahead of time wants to send you a video, then you can upload that, excuse me, and put it here, and it will show up on the front end so all the buyers can see that ahead of time. Okay? All right. Any questions? You guys are following along, right? Okay. Now, we haven't talked about these buttons up here at the top right. This yellow button basically just is the settings for this sale. Are you charging tax? Is there a buyer's premium? You know, so on and so forth. This is also how you'll add pictures. You have pictures of information about the horses, 3 to a page, but this is where you would come do that. You could simply click here, and let's see, I have demo pics here, and it just goes real quick and easy. And they just upload just like that. And now all of those are there. Now these aren't your stuff, and I want people to see real information, so I'm gonna get rid of these real quick. All right. But you can see how nice and fast it all runs. All right. Now we have a catalog page, so you can organize all of your cataloged items. And if you needed to delete something from there, that's where this is done. Okay. Now, the catalog ring, when it's time to go live, if you were having an online timed auction, that probably wouldn't be the case, right? You'd have a simulcast for people bidding live and online at the same time.
Yeah.
Like this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to basically click the clerking grid, and there's nothing live here. When it's time to go live, your clerk will simply click a button to go live. It will pop that up here just like this. And then as the floor bid come in, they will simply click this button, and that tells people at home, floor bid, floor bid, floor bid. And then if they want to bid, they can get back in. Okay?
3.5 inch. I think it's a 500, guys, but I'm not sure on that. Oh, how many dollar bill? 100, $200 bill, 200 here, and a 25, and 2.5, to get 2.5 on the 2.5, 275.
So she's jumping up because the floor bids were much more than the online bids were. And now she's trying to keep up with her husband.
$275 buy, and 75 to get 275. Screw in choke and all right there, ready to roll.
All right. Okay, so now that's what's happening in settings. Expenses. Let's say, let me back this up a little bit. Let's say our consigner, you were going to charge them a feed fee or a pickup fee or anything like that. You can simply go to registered consigners, find the person that's going to get charged, and add an expense. So we're going to add a $250 feed fee because you were storing this horse for him for feed. All right. Excuse me. All right. So now when it's time to pay our consigner, we go in here to start. Just like the bidders are going to pay out, the consigners have the same workflow. All of the items were line itemed based on the sliding scale, or the, in this case, the tag that we put with it. So everything was tack. Shows the commission on those 6 items. We took out the feed fee of $250, and it left an amount due of $116. You can then write that person a check. And we even have the ability to print laser checks. You have to order the checks, but it'll print out of your computer or your printer, and off you go. Okay. All of this is sample data, but all of this would get set up to be your bank account information and so on and so forth. Okay. So now they have paid. When it's time to promote your sale, so you've got 4 people here. When it's time to promote your sale, this is another way of marketing. You can hit promote. You can tell the system how many people you wanted to go out to. Just the people in your state, only the people that were at your last sale. Most people just hit everybody, but it's 6 cents per person. So if you have 1,000 people, you can send that out for $60. Just click the button and it will send a text message out. Now, right now, there's only 4 of us, me, Earl, Daniel, and Ashley. I'm going to send that out. It is a very, very effective marketing tool. We see our views go up from, hundreds to thousands when that goes up. It's a very effective tool. Let's see. At the end of the sale, you've got a consignor report. Come in here. If you had 20 different consignors, or in your case, I think you've got more than that, all of those consignor payout sheets are going to be right here listed on the right. We only have 1 for the sample, but then you can simply come in here and click print this report, and it will print all those out. Then you can write checks individually if you want to. This one here on the left is your basically the summary. It doesn't show every item that's sold, just the total with the commissions. Okay. Then at the very end of the sale, the blue button here is a master report. Every single thing that happened, all the money that came in, the marketing channels and how people said they heard about the sale, who was tax exempt, who was registered to bid, who was registered to sell, every single payment that came in, check numbers, approval codes for your credit cards, every clerked item that comes in, even what ring it was in when it was clerked. Now this gets pretty big. All the items that got tagged, even every change that you made in the system. We changed some bid numbers a couple times. It will track every single change, so that in the chaos of an auction, if you want to go back and say, all right, what happened here? Some of the numbers don't match. You can see exactly what happened. Okay. Any questions yet?
like for our small animal, the way we do it now, obviously everything's with paper. So we can sign those in the morning. Let's say a consigner would have 30 different items.
Mm-hmm.
And the lot number was 101. How do we sign that in? Just put in 101, 30 items, or what?
Well, so what we would do, are you using back tags or ear tags?
Well, no, basically just hang a tag on the cage or whatever.
Okay, but with just the seller number.
Which is the seller number, yeah.
If you don't care what, I would do it differently. I would clerk it like you do now with paper. I would use this other one here. I would use the general clerking grid. And when it comes into the ring and you know it's seller 101, you know, it's ducks with cage. You know, just like you're going to do on your paper. And off you go. Now you can use the pre-clerking system and search it. So let's say we're doing that. All right. Let's use this. So there's this little button here that we haven't talked about. So let's use your example and say, as small animals come in, you're going to try to track them with a back tag or an ear tag or even a cage number. You can do that, and you'll use this tool. So let's say it is lot number. Oh, I got to do one thing here. Let's see. Let me go here. I need to put this on, and then I can go back here. Refresh. Sorry, guys, I'm bouncing around a little bit. Let me get this done. Okay, so this little one right here, this button, is a magnifying glass, like a search box. So if you're bringing things in on one end of your facility and you want them to be pre-clerked, like let's say like we did the horses, you're going to use this tool. And the catalog number, like some of the livestock auctions that use back tags or ear tags, you can simply type in the number. Lot 101, and find that item. So there's Tranquility K, which is a horse, and then your clerk will simply enter the price, and the buyer number, and enter that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you can go at it two different ways. If you want it to all be organized as it comes in one end and you want to sell it with, because a lot of times they'll use that for gun or animals that you want to put a lot of details in. And there's an ear tag and a back tag, or, you want to say, hey, this has got this sire and this dam and all that kind of stuff. You want that to be in the description. You do that ahead of time, and then in the heat of the battle when you're selling it, you simply pull up that back tag number, the cage number, or whatever it is. If you don't care about the details or the description, you can simply clerk on the fly as it's coming with the regular clerking grid.
So what if we clerked with paper, then came in the office and had someone enter it?
There's no reason to do that unless you are worried about the internet going down or something like that. I think that it's just as fast to type on the computer as it is to write the paper. I do have auction companies, when they come on board with me, they will paper backup for a couple sales just to get used to us. But that goes away pretty quickly. You will also eliminate one worker if you're not doing that, because if you're paper clerking and you bring it into the office and then type it in, there's a backlog in that. If someone right now, if I bought an item standing in front of the cashier, as soon as I turn around, that cashier is ready to check me out. That perk goes away if you're doing paper first.
So still the option to do that, right?
Of course, yes, of course. Yeah. And I, believe it or not, I do have some people that do it because they're incorporating a paper backup with the fact that they are, they're running multiple rings, but they have a person that does nothing but type in the office. And there is some kind of a backlog a little bit sometimes, but yeah, there's no harm in doing that at all.
Yeah.
It's just less efficient. You know, you're paying one more person, and it's a little bit slower. But yeah, it doesn't hurt anything. The one thing I can impress on you is if you're converting to software, let the system assign the consignor number. If a person brings you stuff to sell, make it a point to get them in the system and assign a seller number, and let that number be what gets written on their cages and different things. It will just make your life a lot simpler. Some companies, the staff loves it, but the auctioneer himself has a habit of, he knows people, so he'll just come in and he'll write their name down on their consignor form, and then he'll take that stickers and he'll just kind of pick a number. All right, this guy's going to be 13. And this guy's going to be 14. Well, I don't remember 14 being in the last sale, so it's okay. I can give him this number. All right. Just let the system assign your number. Make that important to you. Everything else will go smooth.
Unless we have the permanent numbers, those would be entered in beforehand anyway, right?
Correct. So if a person shows up and they're always 57, it doesn't even matter if you even give them a number, because the system is saving that number for them. Yeah. So yes, you're correct. Okay, now this this sale that I created, first of all, it's out there for the public to see. It's getting you some free advertising. I would recommend, if you've got pictures of horses and things like that, you can use this demo sale as a way of getting in here, playing with it, learning your way around. By all means, ask me questions. That's one of the things you get with me, is you're going to get one-on-one. If you need something, you're going to call me directly. You're not going to get lost in some call center support staff. You're going to be able to have me. But by the way, what time does this sale start that day?
Let's see, the tax starts at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I wasn't aware of that. On your website, I did not see that, so I didn't know what time to set it for.
Right on the front of that catalog cover you have down below.
Okay.
Actually, it looks like you popped it off, maybe.
I did not see it. I'm sorry. So I corrected that. But you could get in here and play around, add some more details. You get a free sale to kick the tires on before we ask any financial commitment on your part. If you thought you wanted to run my software on the 21st, I will come up to your auction and make sure your staff is comfortable with the system.
Okay.
The day of the sale, I will drive up there and, I'll probably drive up the night before because you're starting so early. But I would come up and basically train your staff, make sure everything goes smoothly for that one sale. But the only thing I would ask for you is to go ahead and commit to my sign-on fee, so I know you're serious. And then that sign-on fee would be just the same as generating your next sale. So you would go in here and just create the next auction. And then we can use that auction because you have another one scheduled, don't you? Like a small animal auction?
Yeah, that's a week later.
Yeah. So if you created the small animal auction, put the date and time, start uploading pictures and information about that, the system would charge you the sign-up fee, and then I would commit to being there for your sale on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
Okay. These other things down here, you can always go through our tutorials. If you got a question and you don't want to bother me, you can look through that. We have a very nice YouTube channel. There's lots of different, let's see. Let's see if I can find my channel again. So we have lots of videos that's all about using the system. If you want to train your staff, you want to have them watch things. Here's another good example. Here's a simulcast for livestock. So you can, there's a lot of opportunity for you to just kind of learn from the system around like that. So, all right, guys, anybody else there that has a question that I haven't covered?
There's one on the tip of my tongue, and now I forgot what it was. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Oh,
Well-
I was going to ask you, so as far as a laptop, just any regular old laptop would be about what we need, or?
I wouldn't buy anything but the absolute cheapest thing out there. So Walmart, cheapest thing at Walmart.
Okay.
It'll run on anything. And you can run, it doesn't matter how many stations. So if you want to make your sign up faster and you want to use your clerking computer, your laptop for your clerk, bring it down to your cashier's window just to have one more computer signing people in. You know, anything will work. The one thing you really need is good internet. Making sure that if you're in a facility where you can hardwire it to your router from the internet company, I would recommend that. It will run on hotspot or whatever it is, but if you're in a metal barn or something, sometimes that will mess it up. So make the time to hardwire it if possible.
What about as far as your bidder cards? Is that something you sell, or what?
Bidder cards is plain paper. So if you,
Plain paper.
yeah, it's made to come out on plain paper, and then you just fold it in half out of your printer. And a lot of times auctioneers will get like a yellow or a bright green or some sort of colorful paper. But the whole idea was to be cheap, and so it just comes out on out from your printer.
So you give them both? Like that has 2 ones on there.
Well, it's made to print and fold vertically.
And then they could show either side of the card.
Yes. Now, some people like to write what their purchases are. That's the reason for this. But people really like watching it on their phone. That will be a highlight of the system.
So I can come in here anytime and play with this auction now.
From anywhere, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty much. Does any of the other guys have any questions? I think that'll give us something to work on.
Okay. All right.
And I'll be in contact with you shortly here.
Okay. Yeah, the 21st will be here soon. So if you think you want to take me up
Yeah.
on that, let's get it done, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
You and I have been texting a little bit. So if you have any questions, feel free to text. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay, thank you.
You guys have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Bye-bye.